Welcome to the Personal Shrine Project. I'm Gavin Ryan, an artist from Australia whose art has been about many things over the years, but much of it has been about the nature of belief as a core factor in the human condition and saying something meaningful about it in these challenging times. From an early age, I was trying to make sense of the world, as we all do. I read books coming at life from all sorts of perspectives, from Taoist philosophy to cyberpunk, to gonzo journalism, to Darwinian animal behaviour science, and evolved an artistic worldview that consisted of satirical observations and twisted visual puns of the dark side of the human psyche in a wide variety of different styles and mediums. My works touched on various aspects of modern life: consumerism, television, politics, environment, history, religion, and sexuality. I put together an exhibition of these pieces called Sex and Death and Shopping, and derived much creative satisfaction from it. And many people seemed to more or less get what I was saying. But at a certain point, I started to feel like I was just pissing into the wind by focusing on the dark side of it all. One of the places I was fortunate enough to be able to show these works was at the legendary Woodford Folk Festival, and this chance connection led to an ongoing creative partnership that allowed me huge scope to realise my urge to make my art be about genuinely bringing forth a small difference in the world for the positive. It was an opportunity to live the words of the English poet Keats, who wrote, "Beauty is truth, truth beauty." My incredibly detailed poster artworks were designed to make people think, but also go beyond thought. Eckhart Tolle talks about a pause in the incessant mental chatter of our minds when we stop in awe, in the presence of beauty, to experience a small moment of satori when the mind is still. I found that I wanted to profoundly touch people's deeper core beyond thought and belief, and inspire an emotional response that comes from that mostly dormant sense of wonder and childlike openness beyond ego, fear and desire. To create an immersive experience so beautiful and compelling as to elicit a momentary suspension of the habitual and compulsive mental noise that comprises our image of who we think we are, and a small discovery of deeper and higher states of being. My fascination with ancient Eastern spirituality, philosophy and art drew me to Bali, where I found I wanted to make my art more direct and work with the power of belief less ambiguously. I wanted to draw on ancient teachings and symbols, but try and make them more meaningful and accessible in a personal modern context. I wanted to help people explore their own meanings and interpret those teachings and symbols anew, or better yet, make their own. And so the Personal Shrine Project was born. My goal is to create functional art whose function is to define a sacred space, an inner sanctum that pervades the domestic environment with a sense of calm and symmetry, timeless but practical wisdom, light, and the truth that emanates from beauty and whose meaning and purpose is a call to conscious evolution, happiness and inner peace, and in the process, in tiny part perhaps, contribute to a similar shift universally. There are two main directions this project is taking at this point. The first is beautifully carved teak shrine components that I am designing and having handmade in Bali. Ivedi is the name I have given to the initial product that is designed to cradle modern digital devices in the context of a wide range of sets of other matching components specifically purposed for the creation of really beautiful and compelling sacred space at the heart of one's private domain. Progressing in parallel with this is colour and meaning, a series of workshops all about creating one's own unique symbology and visionary art, intended primarily to really put the personal into one's personal shrine. These workshops, both in real life and online, are the logical extension of a collaborative folk art workflow developed at the Folk Festival to actively engage the Woodford family in the creation of the festival poster and many other public art pieces around the festival precinct. There is much more to say about all this. If you would like to know more, please take a good look around the Personal Shrine website, join the blog or social media pages, and think about how delving deeper into what your life means might make it more meaningful.